All right, now I'm going to play another video. Just tell me how you feel about what's being said in this video.
Okay. Hi,
Hey guys, it's
probable feminist.
Video. This is going to be a quick PSA that is really a response to the number of people that I see saying, not all white people are racist.
Okay.
Not all white people. Not all white people. Not all white people. And this is white people as well as black people.
Not all
white
people are racist. Case closed. The end.
Yeah, it's like nuance. Nuance bullshit.
I see all these people trying to inject nuance instead of oversimplifications into the argument, and it's really annoying me.
I'm annoyed by this. Come on, guys.
I'm just here to let you know, public service announcement, yes, all white people.
Yes, all of us.
All white
Every
people
single
are
one.
racist.
Every one of them.
And the reason why all white
Every
people are
last
racist
stinking
is because
one.
all white people are born into and raised in a racist, white supremacist society.
Ah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. I remember I was 5. I went to, there's a special room in our house, and it's like, now it's time for your white education. And remember, the white race is the only race that matters. Any other races, you know, you gotta do everything in your power to hold them down.
Yeah.
Literally hold them down. They want to move into our town. That's not gonna happen. We're gonna drive them out of town.
And if they take over too many houses, we gotta leave.
And we just leave because, oh, you know, those white people didn't really do their duty and stop them from moving here, so we have to move to another more even, more rural, more safe white community.
That instills racist, white supremacist ideals within them.
Right.
And until they say, you know what, I am racist. I was born into this racist society that instilled me with certain beliefs of superiority, white supremacy, as well as certain beliefs about black people and other minorities. And I maybe need to stop and take a step back and unlearn all.
So you're only racist until you're only not racist until you admit that you're racist.
Yeah. Then once you admit you're racist, you're not racist. Wait.
And then you are racist.
What? Just say you're racist, and then maybe, you know, you'll have some credibility with
Maybe one day I'll declare that you're not racist if you say you are, and then admit that all these, like, I'm sorry, but since when? Even if I buy into the notion of like, this is like a white supremacist society, even if we buy into that. Even if we do, since when is everyone just a fucking little drone that does what society tells them to? Last I checked, there's all sorts of ideological diversity. There's shit tons of people who don't go along with what society says about this issue or that issue.
There's people that dress up as, like, you know, like fucking penguins and shit that dance around and do stupid shit. Just look at the diversity of videos on YouTube. Look at the different fucking rainbow of sexual fetishes or different ideologies or people that believe, like, I'm a dragon.
Also, if all white people are just culpable of racism for just existing in a society, then shouldn't all black people be guilty of the same racism just because, like, the virtue of them being in society? You know? Because, I mean, you're basically saying, oh, if you're in this society that's this way, then you're this way.
They don't have power, though, TJ. Remember, power plus prejudice equals racism. Remember, TJ.
Plenty of black people do have power, and plenty of white people don't.
Right.
Wrong, TJ. They're all racist.
Sorry, I forgot I was wrong.
Look, they're white, they're racist. Come on. Case closed. Just admit you're racist, TJ.
Okay, I'm racist. I'm racist.
All these things. They cannot be your friends. They cannot be your allies. They cannot hang out with you. They cannot date you. I would say that that should be the litmus test for every person, every non-essential white person in your life, aka like you don't have to be around. Like,
okay, so
well, this person
she would not have any of those types of relationships with any white person unless they can admit that they're racist.
I mean,
or is she saying that
these standards she's presenting, she clearly is a racist because she views everyone in this very generalized way. It's like, oh, you're white, so you're automatically racist.
We're basically just watching the flip side of the first guy we watched.
I know, that's what...
We should have played these back to back.
It's almost uncanny, yeah.
If you have to be around your boss and your coworker, clearly you can't just say, oh, bitch, you're a racist because you're going to get fired. But for any non-essential white people in your life, I think that the criteria for being around them should be, hey, can you admit that our society is racist and that you have racist beliefs that you're working to unlearn? If they can't do that, they got to get the fuck out. They got to go. Because, yes, all white
Admit
people.
you're racist
That's
or
not
we
to say
can't
that
be
they're bad or they're
friends.
evil or anything like that, but they are all imbued with certain ideas from this.
Every last
view.
stinking white one of them.
If you view humanity like that, how can you not possibly say the same thing about your own race?
Get your paws off me, you damn
It's like
dirty
you're imbued
white.
with these things. These things are like innate in you. It's like, well, then that's pretty much anyone then. Is gonna like, I want to stick to my tribe or my group of people. Like that's what if that's the argument you're making. How could you possibly
Tribe, Scotty?
Yeah, your people.
Did you just say tribe,
Yeah,
Scotty?
I did.
Wow. That's racist, buddy. That's some
society.
racist behavior
And
you
it
need
is
to
the
unlearn
job,
and
it is the
quick.
responsibility of white people at this point to convey to other
Hey,
white people,
I don't have no
listen, we have a
responsibility towards you,
problem.
motherfucker.
We have a problem. Because they're never going to listen to you. If you're a black person or if you're a minority, they're not going to listen to you.
What?
This is just generalization. Oh, white people will never listen to anyone that's not white. It's
I don't listen to people dependent on skin color. I listen to people dependent on
Yeah, you know that one black...
whether or not I give a fuck.
Hey, there was I'm sorry, Ben, but there was this one black guy that he actually talked about race several times, and a bunch of white people listened to him, and I think his name was Barack Obama, the president of the fucking country. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
not ringing any bells.
Obama made a bunch of racial speeches before he became president because he actually had to address the fact that, yeah, I am a black guy who actually stands a good chance of becoming president.
Yeah.
White America didn't just tune him out and go, la, 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 we ain't listening, we ain't listening. I mean, sure, some
That
did.
was just white guilt, TJ.
But that was
white guilt.
Some people.
TJ, look, it's white guilt. It's a bunch of racist white people who realize they're guilty. Like, I'm racist, so they voted for Obama purely out of white guilt.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they have those ideals, okay? Even if it's on a subconscious level. It is not your job to educate white people. It's not your job to chase after them. It's not your job to respectability politic them and try to prove your worth and your value to them to get them to accept you and say, you know what, you are a human being. That is not your job.
If it's not your responsibility to do that, then why did you say earlier that you wouldn't call your boss a racist if they were? Because you'd be afraid of getting fired. I thought that you should. You're saying now that you should fucking say it to your boss.
This is more of this social justice warrior nonsense. Oh, this is an invisible privilege, or this is a subconscious.
I love these
thing.
motherfuckers that come
deep
to me
within your psyche that you are racist. It's like, well, if it's buried deep within someone's psyche that they're racist, they probably wouldn't even realize it.
And I love how she comes to you and is like, you got to change, but if you don't, it's not my responsibility to try to make you. It's like, okay, well, how about you just go do your own life with your values, and I'll go do my life with my values, and if nary the two shall meet, then better off for both of us.
Yeah.
Your job and your work, as you guys know what I've said in my Do Your Work video, is to support other black people, is to uplift other black people, is to connect with other black people, is to fight for
Here's
black
a crazy fucking idea. Maybe, all people should just support and help one another regardless of skin color.
Sorry, you sound like a racist. You're saying there only help black people. It's like, why don't you help anyone that you honestly feel you can help? Would you make it
Or
feel
you could
like,
just have my
you're black?
policy of not helping anyone for any reason at all.
That's your prerogative. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't just only help someone. Oh, I can only help you if you're white. How's that? People would be like, that's racist. But if a black person says, oh, well, only help other black people, only uplift other black people.
Scotty, that's because racism is not just prejudice. It's prejudice plus power, and black people have no power at all, ever.
That's ridiculous.
Ever?
Ever.
So like Oprah, she doesn't have any power.
No. You would rather be the poorest white man on earth than Oprah.
Fuck that.
That's like, fuck, don't make me Oprah now, bitch.
Yeah.
is to fight for black agency. It is to buy and support, black-owned businesses. It is to push for legislation to protect black people. All those things are...
I'll support businesses that I like regardless of who the fuck owns them.
Why does, that's the funny thing about these people. It's like they break everything down to race. The only important component to them is race. That's it. It's race. Legislation, help black people. It's like, let's not help everyone. Let's help only black people. Let's only help only white people. Let's only help Asians. Let's only help... It's like, why are we just basically subdividing our population? Should we now say we should only help young people? We should only help old people.
The thing about this is that there are people like us on both ends of the spectrum, like everywhere, that don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like the interactions we have with other people, we're not like, oh, that was a black person I just interacted with.
You know, they were really well spoken. Good for them. You know, it's like
that kind of thought doesn't even like cross our minds.
Why would it? It's such an irrelevant detail.
I know.
I don't know.
I don't understand why people like this woman and then the guy that we played earlier, like, why they give a fuck so much.
It's very important to their identity.
Yeah. It must be just very, very important to them. Race is just like a key component of their life. Like, I'm white or I'm this, so that's the best thing to be, and I'm going to defend that. And anything I hear out in society that could, be perceived as a threat, I have to go after and say, oh no, this is wrong. This is bad.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're all really that different.
We are.
Not really.
Everyone's fucking different, and they're not different on an individual level. They're just different from race to race.
Yeah, just group them together like that.
Your job. Convincing white people that racism exists is not your job. Arguing with white people all day on the internet about shit that you know is true is not your job. That is the job of other white people. That is the job of these white allies, okay? That is their job. That is not your job. Racism is white people's problem. It is their sickness, mental illness, disease, whatever you want to call it. It is their culture. It is passed down. It is perpetrated, and it is
every culture. Ostracizing other people exists in pretty much every culture. This is just a ridiculous, oh, it's only these people doing this. It's like, sure, there's plenty of examples of white racism, and there's a lot of white people that do hold racist values, but that happens across the board. There's always people or some group or some thing that people want to point at and say, oh, all our problems are due to this one thing. This is the main source. This is the wellspring of our problems. And we've seen it time and time again. In the 1950s in America, it was communism. Oh, my God, the communists are going to come over here and take over. They're going to nuke us. It's going to be the end of the world. They're the source of all our problems. And then one day, the Soviet Union collapsed. That can't be our problems anymore. Now in America, it's terrorism. Terrorism is a huge problem. The terrorists are going to come and get us. Despite the fact that more people have been killed by our citizens have killed each other far more effective than terrorists ever have.
Rambo gonna kill ISIS.
That will be pretty sweet, though.
Self-fulfilling by them. So it is their responsibility. The day that white people decide they want racism to be over, racism will be over. Okay?
Over.
That's
racism
not
is
true.
over.
That's not true. It's not that simple. It's such an oversimplification of an issue. It's really stunning ignorance.
What will she have to make videos about after that?
Well, that day will never come.
It's not her job.
Of course
to do that,
not.
Ben. It's the job of white people. These so-called white allies.
I like how she put that in quotation.
Yeah,
air
like
quotes.
they're not really
our allies, but it's their job to fight this battle that we're the only ones who even believe in this.
Yes.
Yay.
Wow.
Your job to create, again, a sense of agency and liberation in the black community so that we can be self-sustaining, so that we don't have to rely on them. That's your job, because PSA... Yes, all white people.
Okay.
Our systems in place.
I'm sorry.
So basically, where did you buy those clothes from? Where did you buy that couch from? The drywall in your house. I mean, there's a million different things. Oh, you got those from Asians? Well, Asians aren't really helping the black cause, so you should just get rid of anything that was not manufactured. From the time it was basically the raw materials to you bought it. If there was one other hand of a white person or any other race, you can't use that. It's not helping the black community specifically.
We fucking all function. We live in a multiracial society. So this attitude of we need to help our own kind, that doesn't make any sense. That's just dumb.
I don't even think she understands what it's like in places where, in places where there's almost, it's not just black or white. And it's not multiracial or multi-ethnic places like Japan or something like that.
Sure.
I mean, if you want to go live in an entirely black culture, there's plenty of places on this planet where that is the case. But if you want to live in a multiracial culture, then that's America, and you can't just decide, I'm only looking out for the people who have the same skin tone as me. That is racism. You are a racist. Fuck you. The end.
Right, and even people that are her allies, people that'll stick up for her, they're not really her friends. It's their job to do that.
It's their job.
And they have to admit that they're racist.
And that's
Yeah.
they have to admit they're racist and they have a mental illness or whatever she called it.
Do you want to see any more?
No.
No.
Dear God, no.
This is garbage. This is like garbage on a silver platter, you know? I mean, come on.